What's going on? How y'all doing tonight? Well, I just saw Joe Biden's speech. The thing that's out here is so comical, it's not even funny. Yeah, he's making sense in terms of, what you're supposed to do if you're in the White House with the speeches. However, he talks too much, and the media talks too much too. You can't open up stuff and say, oh, we got this vaccine, and we're going to be okay, and we can do all this, and then lose 500,000 people and then act like everything is just all honky dory and ice cream and hot dogs and pizza. Come on now. He can't tell you nothing fully. He says, well, if he has everything where everybody's eligible to get the jab, May 1st or so on, small gatherings on the 4th, not large gatherings. That means you can't go out to a park with a full lot of people because you can still get it, even if you've been stuck. Can you travel? They want to push the agenda, get schools back, everything back. But they're not telling the truth. And the worst thing that they're doing is trying to normalize stuff with less than 50, 70% of the people. Even if they were trying to get you to get the jab and you wanted to, and you got to wait, why are they normalizing everything now? Because they're trying to pimp Mother's Day, trying to pimp spring, trying to pimp Easter. They trying to got an agenda to push that bag. They don't care about people. They're politicians and they're corrupt and it shows. Your common sense would say, we're going to stay in a settle, low-key phase of life until we get where we need to get. But and just because he signed some $1,400 checks and push some money on you, it's supposed to make you feel like you got cookies and milk and you're happy. Not if you lost anybody to this pandemic. So it's very conflicting between what he says and what the media does. Yeah, he's better than that garbage piece of trash Trump, but that ain't saying nothing. I mean, anybody that can, you know what they say sometimes about a job, some situations? Hey, showing up is half the process, so at least a warm body in the flesh. But Joe Biden's speech, it just is another speech. He don't know. You can push all this agenda. And why is he pushing Johnson & Johnson when Pfizer and Moderna are the better two? Because if it's only a one jab and a step, you don't need two. So that contradicts Fauci, Dr. Fauci, and CDC guidelines. And they can't really tell you nothing. Meanwhile, these states are either going maskless or they're pushing this agenda to try to open. And people won't want to go get no shot. So they contradict themselves to push the agenda. So who's going to play smart and really look at the picture? What you going to do? Because if you walk around thinking things are normalized, you let your guard down, then what? They're not playing smart at all. They're playing with your mind. They're juggling you. So if you still got to wear the mask, stay still 6 feet distance, even with vaccine or not, you're not out of the woods yet. You don't know what the spring, summer will hold. And you still got to go through the fall and winter. And guess what? Even if you do all those things, it's half the year. Meanwhile, the second part of the year, which gets colder and you go back to situations, then what? They're rolling dice with people's lives and they're not telling the truth. And again, Biden came and done some things, what he gonna do, but he's pushing an agenda. And in a year's time for what last year should have been a shutdown for at least half the year. And I'm still not sold that they shouldn't have some kind of shutdown now. Because things ain't exactly right with what you're doing. But that's my personal opinion. So, I heard his speech. And he makes sense from what he doing. But he ain't telling the whole truth. And it's still too many unanswered questions. And they still trying to normalize too much. So I would say he needs to fall back. And the media need to fall back. Because if you can't get people 50 to 75% vaccinated, and this ain't May 1st, this barely passed March 1st. That's a month and a half. What's going to happen? See, stop trying to normalize stuff and take care of people. I don't think they care about the American people. Can't trust the government. I don't care what he says. If they wanted to really get this thing kicked, they would treat it like an ice cream truck, or like how your UPS or your FedEx truck comes around. They come through your neighborhood and say, get your arms out, let's hit it. They would speed it up. Not this stupid computer lottery machine crap. Go to your Walmart, Walgreens. Them pharmacists, them white coats are pimps. They drug dealers. Let them stick you if you want to get stuck. Or Costco. Not this. You gotta wait till the 65 to 69 line, then the 62 through 68 line, and 61 through 67. They were really serious. They would push it up. Because as quick as they get them checks, they would get you a better mask too. That N95 mask they could put on you. They could put all that in the mail if they were in a hurry. They not in that kind of hurry, and they don't know. Anyway, give me your thoughts and takes about Joe Biden's speech and how the media and the agenda is to push everything back to normal and to pimp the vaccine. And you don't really need the vaccine because you can't have it both ways. They're sending mixed signals. But give me your thoughts and takes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I welcome thoughts and comments and feedback, and I do respond. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another, and 2021 is just a part 2 of 2020. It's going to be some ups, but there going to be some downs. It ain't over. It ain't over.